In this video, we are looking at the Gospel of Wealth, an essay written by Gilded Age steel tycoon Andrew Carnegie, written in 1889. Before discussing the key points of the essay, let's take a look at the context around the piece. The late 1800s were an exciting time in the United States. The country was rapidly industrializing and growing. Massive corporations and heavy industries like steel, oil, coal, and railroad companies had sprung up after the Civil War to dominate the economy, politics, and for many of the workers, their entire lives. Immigrants were streaming in the United States from all over the globe, but notably in this time period was an increase in immigration from Southern and Eastern Europe. The federal government had taken a mostly supportive and laissez-faire approach to these new corporations. The prevailing idea of the time was to let the invisible hand of the market determine the economic winners and losers. These trends led to the creation of a super wealthy class of Americans and massive income inequality. Some characterized this new class of business leaders in a more negative light as robber barons, and others saw them in a more positive light as captains of industry. Here we meet the author of our primary source, Andrew Carnegie, a Scottish immigrant who rose up through the ranks of industry and was the head of a massive steel corporation that vertically integrated all the means of productions, from iron mines to the final steel product produced from his blast furnaces. Carnegie amassed great wealth, of which he directed a significant amount towards philanthropic projects, including building institutions of education and thousands of libraries. Now, taking a look at the key points of the Gospel of Wealth, Carnegie discusses at length capitalism, both its positives, including decreasing prices of goods, making former luxurious products a necessity, and creation of great wealth. But he also discusses issues that arise from capitalism, notably that it produces great inequality. The essay defends the accumulation of wealth, but also describes how a wealthy individual should act and spend their money. Carnegie says that the rich should follow a humble lifestyle and not flaunt their wealth. Most importantly, Carnegie argues that the wealthy need to be good stewards of a society and spend their money on public projects, and use good judgment in spending their money, not give it away willy-nilly, but on projects that will improve all of society. His answer and argument to inequality is philanthropy. Carnegie contrasts this with the more radical solutions like forced government redistribution of wealth or communism. Moving on to the author's intentions. Carnegie is intending to propose a solution to the problems of wealth inequality and despair amongst the poor masses. In this time period, many workers have organized themselves into unions. There are also radical political movements. Carnegie wants to push back against the solutions of those groups, because it would obviously affect his business and wealth. Carnegie has the point of view of an immigrant who rose up through society and became an extremely successful businessman. Going on to who would agree and disagree with the Gospel of Wealth, many of the upper classes of society would agree with Carnegie. While surely there were a few Scrooges unwilling to give back to the poor, they would have viewed philanthropy as a better possible solution to society's ills, rather than the more radical proposals. Unions, socialists, and a significant amount of those in poverty may disagree with Carnegie and would want more of an aggressive means of the redistribution of wealth. Finally, the legacy of the Gospel of Wealth. Carnegie's essay is a hallmark of the Gilded Age. Many other wealthy individuals would follow Carnegie's lead and engage in extensive philanthropy. There is also an aspect of paternalism that pervades Carnegie's essay, with the idea that the wealthy are the most fit and intelligent individuals, evolution-wise, in American society, and they know what is best for the country. The essay also fits in with comparable eras of massive inequality and worship of the wealthy, including the 1920s and the 21st century. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and many other wealthy tycoons of tech and investment banking industries of today engaged in the same philanthropic goals, even signing a giving pledge, which signees promised to give away at least half of their wealth. Well, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please click that like button, check out some of my other videos, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends.